Hey, thanks for tuning in. Bit of silence. Bizarre, or maybe not. I've been watching a lot of non-duality videos, in particular Tony Parsons. Is it Tony Parsons? I think, yeah. And I think I've got it. I know it's one of those things where people say you can't know non-duality. And I think Eckhart Tolle mentions everything's a pointer to it, whatever it is. And other videos, other people on YouTube and books and all kinds of things. And I think I get it, even though I've not heard anybody else say that they actually get it and understand it, because apparently we can't get it, we can't comprehend it. But I think I do. I'm going to try and explain it in this video because I just want to put it out there to see if anybody else that's into non-duality, I've been into it for a while, if this resonates. So the way I see it is everything's just happening. So I think now I am making this video and talking to this camera, and I think I'm in control of that. But this is what's just happening. So it's quite random that this video came about to be made, because I've just been watching a recent video by Tony Parsons, and I'd had this train of thought for a while, but just listening to Tony and some of the, I'd say, answers to his questions, but he doesn't really answer things, because what he's saying is there's nobody asking the questions and there's nobody hearing the questions. Everything is just happening. So the way I see it is, I think I'm in control of making this video, saying these words now, but it's what is just happening. Because as I'm saying this sentence now, I know that this sentence is going to come to an end, but I don't really know where the words are coming from. I don't really know where the sentence is coming from. It's just kind of appearing and flowing, kind of like a river. It's flowing, it's just happening. These words are just coming out. But from the point of this observation point, almost like referring to myself as an observation point, so I'm observing things from this point of view. Excuse me, in the same way as you're observing a video apparently of me. So let's forget all the labels, drop all the labels, drop the me's, the you's, the I's, the am's, and it's just happening. The words are just arising. I think I'm in control of these words, because that's how it appears to me, and it's how it will appear to you that I am saying these words. But if you was to close your eyes now, the words will still appear. You'll still hear the words. You're still detecting the sound that you're receiving, that's coming out of your device into your ears, and that gets translated into my voice that you can understand. So that is still there. That is what is just happening. But because we identify as a person, as people, as whatever. We think that we are saying these things. We think that we are in control in creating these words, this sentence, but they're just happening. And kind of a way I was trying to think of an analogy is like if you take a plant, you plant a seed in a pot in the soil, and you water it and it will grow. That just happens. So it started off as a seed, other items are added to it to trigger the growing process, so it begins to grow. It's just happening all on its own. From our point of view, when we see it, it's just happening, it's just growing. And that may turn into a flower, and the flower will open, and then eventually it'll close and it'll die, and then the plant will die and it's gone. So the whole process of that plant, from our point of view, is the plant, the seed was sown, the plant grew, the plant died, end of. If we was to look really close at the plant, and if we could speak the language and understand the processes that's going on, let's say we could communicate with the plant. So it's starting to sprout. The plant could say, oh, I'm starting to sprout now. I'm actually sprouting, I'm growing, I've broken through the surface, I've broken through the soil, and I'm now starting to grow. And I think I'm going to grow a leaf now, so a leaf will sprout out, and then another leaf might sprout out. And it's like, do you know, I'm going to make a flower now. So the head will grow and develop, and then it will begin to open. It's like, yeah, now I'm going to make these leaves, make these petals, and the petals are going to open. So kind of from the plant's point of view, if it was conscious like we are, or had a conscious awareness, and we could have that conversation with the plant, it would possibly be describing the process that it's going through and what it's intending to do by creating the leaves and the flower head and the petals. But from our point of view, that's all just happening. We know that leaves are going to form, we know that a head is going to grow, and we know that petals are within that, and that's going to open and reveal the flower. So we know all that. So if we was to turn it around and look at us from that same point of view as the flower, we are just happening. This life, this form is growing, is developing, is moving in a certain way, speaking in a certain way, looking a certain way, doing certain things. So from the point of view of somebody else looking at another person, we could say, well, that's just happening. That person's just doing it. That person's just, they're doing it. But we think that they're in control of it. But if you zoom out and eliminate the thinking process and the identification that that is a person, we'll see that it's just happening. Just like the flower just happens. So with the non-duality, could it be that I think I'm making these words in this sentence, and I think I'm making this video, but if you was to zoom out, like if somebody walked past my van now and looked in and saw me, you'd be like, oh, he's just chatting to someone. If they look closer, they'll see I'm chatting to my phone, and then they'd realise that I'm not chatting to anyone, I'm making this video. So when you look at it from different perspectives, you can see that things are just happening, things are just evolving, which means, because the identification and labelling of me as a person, or you as a person, or you identify your phone as a phone, or the device you're watching it on, whatever it is. Take away the label and it's just a thing that's just there, that's performing functions. And it's just evolution. It's things evolving, things growing, things developing. So without me being in this position now to observe this, I'm thinking on a deeper level. I'm thinking of my awareness that is aware that I'm saying these words, that I'm looking at this camera, that I'm watching this, making this video, that I'm watching myself on the screen making the video. That's what I perceive. But we've got to go deeper than that. What is it that is actually observing it? And that is the I am. That is the I, the inner I that you can't find. We know it's there. You can't find it, but it's there. I mean, looking out of my window, I can see the sea, and I can see that the waves, although they're only small and gently, they're just happening. The waves are just happening. And they're happening because of a combination of the weather, the movement of the tide, the position of the moon. Lots of different things contribute to that happening. But I wonder if we could go and speak to a single wave that's obviously an energetic movement through the sea which is disturbing the water, and it appears as a wave. But if you could speak to a wave and ask a wave, would the wave think that it is actually performing that movement? If that's making sense. Like asking the plant, what's it doing? It says, I'm growing, I'm going to sprout a leaf, flower head. So all these things are just happening without any intervention from us at all. And this also ties into free will. We think we have free will. We think we're free to make decisions. We think we do make decisions. But that can't be proven. Not that I'm aware of anyway. You could say, yeah, I'm going to decide to make a cup of tea in a minute. But am I actually making that decision to make the cup of tea? Or is it already a given that a cup of tea will be made? And I will be the physical body that's making that happen. I hope I'm making sense here. It's one of those things where I kind of get it mentally, but I wanted to try and share it and explain it to see if anybody else that's into the non-duality has looked at it from this point of view or seen it, because everybody seems to think that it's something that you can find, this non-duality, even though different people that speak about it say you can't find it because it's beyond our level of comprehension. But mentally, I get it. It makes perfect sense. All of it, everything is just happening. It's just happening. I'm trying to think of another example. I'm looking around. It's kind of like there's some grass outside, and the taller grass is being blown by the wind and it's waving about. So from my understanding, I know that the wind is blowing the grass. it's just happening. The grass being moved is just happening. It's happening because the wind is blowing it, but the wind is just happening. It just happens. It is difficult. I'm trying to think of different references or a different analogy to make, and I may, if I get another one, I'll put it out there. But it'd be great to hear anybody else's point of view on non-duality, or your understanding, or any questions. If you think I'm right, if this resonates, if this makes sense. Because to me it does, even though there isn't a me, which kind of sounds insane on one level, but from the point of view of my understanding of non-duality, this is just happening. You take away the labels, take away any identification, these things are just happening. Whatever and everything is just happening. So yeah, have I got it? Am I missing a point? Does this resonate with you? Let me know. I love thinking about stuff like this. Yeah, let me know. Thanks for watching. Cheers guys.